Hey everyone, it's Ashley Elizabeth here. I hope you are having a wonderful kickoff to your weekend. I'm coming to you today with what I call a 10-second testimony. The other week I had gone through a drive-thru of this little cafe that I visit often. And there was a guy at the window, a guy that I've seen several times before. And this particular individual, he's got such like a fun personality. He's a cross between a surfer dude and just somebody with a whole lot of energy, all into one. And I find him to be precious because of his energy and just his personality and how he serves, his customers. But there was a night that I was feeling rather lazy, so I go through the drive-thru and he's the one at the window. And he hangs out the window, because he recognizes me. And he's like, hey, how are you? Good to see you. And I'm like, oh, it's so good to see you too, And he says, is life good? And I was just like, oh yeah, life is good. And he said, okay, quick question. What is the best thing about your life? And in that moment, I think it just kind of caught me off guard for a second, because I was expecting him to ask me for my money, not a life question. So I just kind of stood there like a deer in the headlights, and I thought to myself, oh, dear Lord, help me think. What is the best thing about my life? This is a pretty deep question for a drive-thru, And I turned to him and I said that Jesus Christ is my Lord and my Savior. And when I said that, he gets so weird. Like, he's like, oh, whoa, well, I guess that's cool, And I thought to myself, I said, oh, dear Lord, I have weirded this young man out. This happens often. I don't mean for it to, but I believe that was an honest question, and I believe an honest question deserves an honest answer. And by God, the fact that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior is the absolute best thing about my life. But in that moment, to kind of break the awkwardness, I kind of turned the question around on him. And I said, well, what is the best thing about your life? And in that moment, his body language and his tone shifted like no other. He went from 60 to 0 and 0.2, and he looks down and he goes, there's not a lot special about my life, but I'm just happy to have another day. And my heart just dropped into my chest, and I just looked at him and I said, well, another day, that's a beautiful gift. And he turns to me and he kind of has a smile on his face, and he said, ma'am, what is your name? And I shared with him, I said, my name is Ashley. I said, what is yours? And he shares his name with me. And he turns to me and hands me my drink. And he said, it was really nice to meet you, And I could just tell in that moment that I was so blessed, because he felt vulnerable enough to really be honest with me during that time, in that brisk little visit through the drive-thru, and to be very vulnerable and just share his heart and what truly was inside of him. And the Lord began to speak to my heart. And, as Christians, we look for these witnessing opportunities to share the love of Jesus Christ. That's our mission. That's what we want to do, to be his hands and his feet and share that. But God just spoke to me, and he said, Ashley Elizabeth, sometimes in life, you're not going to be given these grand opportunities, like an hour to sit down and share the gospel with somebody. Sometimes you've got 10 seconds, so what will you say in that 10 seconds? What will you kind of pull out the holster, when you're asked a life question like that, for 10 seconds, go, share it. And had the power in what that 10 seconds can do in someone's life. We underestimate the power of 10 seconds, but 10 seconds can change your life forever. So I hope that encourages you, that every time that you would go through a drive-thru or stand in line at a supermarket or a store, or just walking by someone, if you are compelled to have 10 seconds to make kingdom impact what those 10 seconds could actually do for someone. And at the end of your life, to think about, like, when you sit at the feet of Jesus, to hear all of those 10-second testimonies and how powerful they impacted people's lives that you came across. So I hope that blesses you, and I hope it encourages you to use your 10 seconds wisely. I love you so much, and I hope that you guys have a great weekend. Until I see you again, you take care and you be blessed. Bye-bye.